Hello everyone. So this session we are exploring our Anitya and Aparigraha, that concept of letting go, releasing, perhaps one of the hardest things we can do. It's going to be a mostly active breathwork session. So come all the way down onto your back. And I really encourage you here to pop an eye mask on to support your legs with cushions, props. You can use a blanket. You might notice a drop and a change and a shift in your body temperature as you take breath work. So just making sure you're completely comfortable as you do this. So come down onto your back when you're ready. Letting the body feel heavy and supported. And Anitya means this understanding that everything is changing. Every breath, every season, every relationship, every emotion, every version of ourselves. Nothing stays exactly as it is. Or more simply, it is learning to let go. And sometimes the unhappiest people aren't necessarily the people who have experienced the greatest difficulties. They're often the people who are holding on the tightest, holding on to how life should have been, holding on to resentments, holding on to that need to be right, holding on to an identity that they've outgrown, or expectations that reality never agreed to. And we see it everywhere. The people who fly off the handle at something small, the people who seem permanently frustrated with the world, or the person carrying so much stress that even the smallest inconvenience feels unbearable. And that person becomes bitter, not because life has been harder for them than anyone else, but because they've spent all these years refusing to loosen their grip. And if we're honest, we've all been that person at some point. Because holding on can feel a lot safer than letting go. Because it's familiar, right? And so today we're going to really lean into this. We're going to notice where we're holding on, where we're grasping, and trying to become a little bit more indifferent. And the best way to do this is through breath work. Before we begin, I'm just going to share a little bit of science behind what we're about to practice, because I know for me, that certainly helps me understand it a little bit more. So many of us believe that when we're desperate for breath, it's because we've run out of oxygen. But it's not actually true. The urge to breathe is largely driven by the buildup of carbon dioxide, that CO2, in the body. And so as your CO2 rises, the brain receives a message. Something needs to change. And immediately, the body wants to react. It wants to breathe, it wants to move, it wants to escape that discomfort. And it's fascinating because this is how we move through life. The moment something feels uncomfortable, we reach for relief. We distract ourselves, we fix, we grasp, we hold on. But what if discomfort isn't always an emergency? What if it is simply information? And so today we're going to explore 10 perfect deep breaths together, really using our diaphragm, really inflating the belly and the rib cage. And then after those 10 breaths, we're going to hold the breath out for a few moments. Nothing extreme, nothing forced, but just enough to notice your mind's response. And when the body says this is uncomfortable, when it says this needs to end, and then noticing what happens when that breath returns. And again, the body teaches us that you can let go, you can trust, you can begin again. So really allow your body to become comfortable. Feel the earth beneath you, feel that air against your skin. And go ahead and take your first breath in. Really inflate the belly. Exhale for number 1. Inhale, number 2. Exhale, 2. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 3. Inhale, 4. Exhale, 4. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 5. Inhale, 6. Exhale, 6. Keep it going, don't lose that breath. Inhale, 7. Exhale, 7. Inhale, 8. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 9. Exhale, 9. Inhale, 10. Exhale, 10. Now breathe all the way in completely, fully, deeply in through the nose. Hold it at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and then hold your breath at the bottom. Don't take another breath in, just hold it. And as that CO2 begins to rise, remember the body is sending its message. Not danger, just sensation. So can you remain curious? Can you breathe? Can you release that gripping? Dropping the shoulders, dropping the body, relax into it. How much of your life has been spent gripping, holding on tightly to these expectations, to these stories, people, outcomes? Let go, ungrip. Keep on holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A slow inhale. A complete exhale. Let your breath come back to normal. And just take a few moments to breathe naturally once more. Easy inhale. Easy exhale. Nothing to hold, nothing to force, only this moment. And the tide never keeps a wave. The trees never keep their leaves. The sky never keeps the sunset. And yet nothing in nature is diminished by its willingness to let go. And perhaps this is the invitation of our lives, to loosen our grip, to stop asking moments to stay longer than they're meant to stop asking people to remain who they once were, and to stop asking ourselves to be unchanged by time. Everything you have ever loved has changed, and so have you. And this is not a tragedy. This is the rhythm of being alive. The breath arrives, and the breath leaves again and again. And somewhere in that endless exchange, life quietly whispers, you do not need to hold on so tightly. Because what is meant for you will not be frightened by your open hands. And what is leaving was never yours to keep. So breathe deeply. Thank this moment for visiting. And when it's time, let it go. When you're ready, it's time to slowly come back to the world. So wiggling your fingers, your toes, rolling the head and the shoulders. And if you're feeling good, just lay here for a few more moments, maybe journal, reflect, take that time for yourself. Or begin to make your way back up to seated, drawing our hands together. All the love, all the light and all the gratitude. We bow to each